I've just bought these protective bed rail caps for my Nissan Navara NP300 here, and in this video I'm going to fit them and review them. So I bought these on Amazon, and as you can see it's the full set of 3, and these were £56, which was the cheapest place online I could find them, and they're from Predator 4x4, even though they actually weren't the seller. And these were slightly cheaper than what they are on the Predator 4x4 site. And here's the part number, and I'll put a link to them in the video description below. So let's see what they look like. So my initial reaction when I unpackaged these was that they are a bit thin. They're not as robust as I thought they would be. I have measured how thick this plastic is, and it's made of 2mm ABS. However, if I just drop that one on the side, and that's going to go something like that, it actually looks very good and it moulds very well, and I don't think the thickness is going to be an issue. It does look like I might have to trim this slightly though, because that's got a hook behind the liner there, and it looks like this little bit is hitting where the screw goes through holding the liner, but that's going to trim off very easily with a knife. But the profile is spot on. That looks like that's going to fit very well, and certainly it's going to do its job. It's going to protect the paintwork on the rails of your body here. And the one for the tailboard is huge, and obviously the Navara has a sort of a plastic hard cap here anyway, but this edge has been damaged by the previous owner. I think they had a canopy on here, but this new capping will cover that and cover up the scratches I've got in the paintwork here. So that is going to sit something like that, and that's going to cover up those marks, and that's not sitting flat because again I think that's got a tuck behind the liner there. Certainly wouldn't want it over it, or you could trim it, but I will remove this liner on the tailboard, and then that can tuck behind, and then that will then lay flat, but it's going to be something like that. So yeah, it looks pretty good. So the first thing I need to do is give this a bit of a clean, because it's been raining and it's all covered in dust and sand now. But the reason why I'm doing this is because this does have some scratches along the paintwork here, some quite serious ones down there, because I think the previous owner had a canopy on there and it has marked, and the tailboard has got quite a few scratches, and there's some pretty horrible scratches on this side as well. But anyway, that will cover all of those up, saves me touching them up, and protect it for the future. So I've given the truck a quick wash, and I'm going to stick the one on the tailgate first because that looks the easiest, and I'm going to have to remove these screws so I can tuck the cap edge underneath this liner here. And then I'm just going to run along there to get rid of that moisture. So I haven't taken the backing tape off yet, I'm just laying this on to see how it fits. And it's not a perfect fit. As you can see, we've got that sort of gap there, and that sort of gap there. So it could have done with being another 6 or 8mm longer, to be honest. But anyway, I'll make sure that's equal spacing both sides, and as this is sitting in the sun now, it is softening the black plastic up a little bit, and that is starting to sit a little bit better. Just a shame it's a little bit short. So now it's a case of taking the backing tape off, and on each one I'm going to just take the corner off and fold it round so it's exposed on the other side of the plastic, and then I can remove the tape properly when I've got it in place. So that's what I've done. I've taken the backing tape off one end of each bit of adhesive, and then taped it round with some masking tape so I can grab hold of it on the other side, and when it's in place I can then pull all that backing tape off. And then you've got to try to get this in place without it sticking down where you don't want it. I think it's going to be there. Well, it is now. So I could now remove the tape, except it's not sitting down very nice at this end. Let's squeeze it that way. And then you've got to try to get this tape off. Like that. Which is easier said than done, because I can't remember which way it goes. Anyway, that one was right. That one must be going that way. It is, there. And it starts getting tight, like that. You don't want it to tear. Like it's just done. That's annoying. I thought this would be the right way to do it. Anyway, that's working just fine. Oh, spoke too soon. No, that's caught there. Let's try this end. No, it's caught again. That's annoying. I reckon that's going to tear. It is. It's snagged both sides. Oh, might have it. Yeah, got it. There. So I can now put these screws back in. But I'm not sure about that going underneath the liner. It would have been much nicer if it was butted up, or even a gap. But anyway. But at least the factory liner here is holding the new plastic capping down. So that's the tailgate capping done. And it's nice that it wraps around here and gives it some proper protection on this curve. But I didn't get it lined up. It's a shame it's a bit short, but anyway, it looks like that end. And there's more of the original one showing that end. And that's just going to annoy me every time I look at the back. But anyway, no one else will notice. But looks like it's going to do its job. So now let's do these side ones. And I've just rested that on, and I've got to decide whether that goes over the liner or I tuck it under. I guess it's going to want to go under the liner because it's flush here, and that's only going to kick it out. But I think I am going to have to trim that because that's now not going down if it goes under the liner there. So I'll take this screw out and then have a look at that. Actually, I've just realised it goes over the liner because on the profile of this new capping rail, it kicks out here. So that compensates for the thickness of the factory liner. So it does go over the top like that. So that's a lot easier. So I can get on and remove the tape now. So I'm going to do the same again and just remove the backing tape from the ends of every run of tape. Apart from these small bits, might as well just remove those altogether. And I guess you could improve the adhesion of this further by running a bead of silicone along the flat surface, which will stick it along there. But I'm not going to do that today. I'll see how long this tape lasts, but if this ever comes unstuck, then that's the backup plan. You could stick this down with just normal clear silicone. So let's try to stick this one down. And I'm going to want to line it up with this corner here by the looks of it. Well, that one came out nicely. So did that one. And so did those. Yeah, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. So there we go, that's all fitted, and it's hidden the scratches that I had on the top of the bed there, and it does look very good. It does tie in very nicely with the black liner. It's just a shame that this isn't longer. It looks okay there actually, but on this side it doesn't look quite right, does it? But anyway, it's only me that's going to see that. So for the money, it's very good. Does the job. And whether that's going to be robust enough, time will tell. But obviously it's stuck down and it's flat on the metal surface, so that's robust enough, I think. I did also initially think this lip was going to come down further than the metal rail, and it would be sort of an edge that would get caught. But it's actually dead in line as well, so you're not going to snag that. So it's better than I was expecting. And the inside lip of the tailboard here is all nicely protected, so I think that's going to work well. So there we go, that will do. If you found this video useful, as always, please do click the thumbs up, that really does help. Do subscribe to the channel, and if you want to see other videos I've made on the Nissan Navara, there's also a link below to a playlist where you'll see those. Okay, I'll see you on the next one.